Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. My name is Marko, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to transfer your Chase points from your credit card to a third-party provider where you're going to get way more bang for your buck. I'm going to show you how to do this in 6 easy steps. We're going to create a loyalty account, we're going to log into Chase, and we're going to transfer these points, and I'll show you why this pays off in the long run. So let's get right into it. So right here, if you log into your Chase account, this one is for business. I use basically the Ink Preferred, and then I also have the Sapphire Preferred for personal use. This one actually got like 90,000 bonus points because I spent a certain dollar amount that I was going to spend anyway, and I basically got 90,000 points for free, which is nice. So when you log into your main Chase profile, whether it's individual or business, they're going to look pretty much the same. And over here to the right, you're going to see rewards. You're going to see your points balance off to the right. So what you want to do is you want to click on that, and I'll show you why it makes sense to actually redeem this to a third party here in just a second. So now, typically, if you're someone who doesn't want to, buy gift cards or book travel through the actual Chase portal, some people may just convert to cash. So let's see what these points are actually worth in a dollar amount. So you can see here that my 101,279 points are worth $1,012 in cash. So I could easily, run up a credit card balance of $1,000, use these points and pay that off, right? Without spending any money. It's just using the rewards points. But let me show you an example of why this doesn't necessarily make sense, especially if you want to travel. So there's a couple different websites. This is seats.aero. .aero. I'm not affiliated with them. This is also Points. Yeah, there's a bunch of these websites that exist where you can actually get really cheap travel, whether it's through flights or also through a third-party provider. So with something like this, you can pick a transfer partner like Chase, for example, and you can see that you can get all these flights from JFK to Madrid or New York City to Madrid, for example, and you can see that they don't cost that many points compared to their dollar equivalent. But let me show you something even a little bit more powerful, and this is the World of Hyatt transfer. So a lot of people use World of Hyatt, and again, I'm not affiliated with anybody here, Chase, Hyatt, anybody. I'm just showing you from personal experience. Let's pretend to book a trip. So remember, these points are worth $1,012, but let's see what they would be an equivalent if I were to go somewhere. Let's do Explore. Let's do hotels and resorts, and we'll go explore the world here. So my philosophy lately in life is make your money in the United States and go spend it overseas because your dollar is going to go a lot further and everything over here is better. Okay. Food, lifestyle, everything, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go to where I proposed to my wife. Let's go to the beautiful Bay of Kotor in Montenegro. And this is a Hyatt Regency resort. Okay. Let's just make up some dates. Let's do end of season to stay away from all the kids that are, out of school. We'll do September 23rd to the 30th, and we're going to book one room with 2 adults, and we're going to use our points. So if I click book now, let's see what they have available. So you can see here, this is the Hyatt Regency. This is a category 4. There's different categories for Hyatt, but you can see here, if I were to book this room right here, this is their 2 twin bedroom, okay? And then you basically transfer the points to your World of Hyatt account, which I'll show you here in a second, but I just want to show you why transferring these points makes sense instead of just paying the cash. So to book this room right here, I would need 126,000 points. So basically almost $1,300 plus fees and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. Let's call it $1,500. Or I can use 63,000 points, basically $630, and pay 221 euros on top of that. So another $250. So all in all, you're going to be into this property with taxes, resort fees, all that stuff. Let's call it $1,500 for easy numbers. Now, if I go to booking.com and I put in the same exact dates and I type in Kotor right here, September 23rd through the 30th, 2 adults, hit search. You can see right here, the Hyatt Regency is right here. So for the same exact hotel, by the time this loads, you can see that for the 2 twin rooms, we're at $2,838 for the whole trip, okay? So compare that to what we just figured out. It was basically $1,500. If I go to this, 126,000 points, which would be 1,260 plus fees, let's call it $1,500. Or you can get this with cash for $2,800. You're basically saving half the money, okay? Basically $3,000 versus $1,500, $1,400. You're basically getting the same exact stay, same exact trip for half the price. That's why transferring these points to a third-party partner, especially with Hyatt, you're typically getting about 2 to 3 cents per point as opposed to 1 cent per point if you were to do the cashback equivalent. Make sense? So now that you understand that this is a better deal, how do we actually do that? How do we take our Chase points and transfer them to Hyatt? Okay. So what you want to do is you want to go back to your Chase points screen, and over here you have travel, and then you can either book travel, which I don't recommend doing because you're just going to get the Chase equivalent, if you will. You may get a little bit of a discount, but usually not really. But what you want to do is you want to click on transfer points to partners. So once you do that, you can see all the different partners that Chase is affiliated with. You have Marriott Bonvoy, Aer Lingus, Flying Blue, Iberia, et cetera, et cetera. But here down in hotels, what do we have here? We have IHG, we have Marriott Bonvoy, and we have Hyatt. With Hyatt, you're going to get a 1-to-1 points transfer. So if I wanted to transfer the points, which you can only do in increments of 1,000, I can transfer 100,000 points or 101,000 points, my balance, okay, and still get 101,000 Hyatt points. So it's a 1-to-1 transfer, except that the Hyatt points are worth anywhere from like 2 to 6, 7 cents per point. Okay, you can get a really good deal. Sometimes it's like 1.7. Usually it's in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 cents per point. So now what you do is you have to sign up for a World of Hyatt account, and I'll show you why. Because if you go to transfer points here, you have to put in all of your details. So you're going to see all the users that are associated with this card. So you can see my name here, Marko. You can see my wife's name. I'm going to click on Marko, and then what it's going to ask you to do is it's going to ask for your World of Hyatt account number, okay? So I purposely didn't set this up yet because I want to show you how to do it. You would then go to World of Hyatt. You can log in. You click this button. So when the World of Hyatt page loads, you would then set up an account. It's free, and then you get your number. You're going to take that number, and then you're going to go back to Chase and put that member number right here, confirm it, and then click Next. Okay, so now that you've done that, this is the next screen that you're going to see. It's going to ask you how many points you want to transfer. We're going to do this in increments of 1,000. So I can do 1,000, or I can do 101,000 because it's telling me I have 101,279 points available. Points must be transferred to the nearest 1,000. And again, as I mentioned, they hold a 1-to-1 ratio. So before I transfer these points to the next screen, I would just want to talk to you about getting into today's sponsor, Policy Genius. Did you know that half of Americans say they'd face financial stress within 6 months if they lost their primary income earner? That's where life insurance comes in, especially if you're building a legacy for your family like I am. A lot of people put it off. I get it. Life insurance doesn't feel urgent until it is. But let me make it easy for you. Policy Genius makes finding and buying life insurance simple. They help ensure your loved ones have a financial safety net to cover debts, living expenses, or just keep life moving forward even if the worst were to happen. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $276 a year for $1 million of coverage. It's an easy way to protect the people you love and feel good about the future. Some options are even 100% online, and you can skip the medical exam. That's a win in my book. That's actually what my wife and I did. Here's what I like the most. Policy Genius lets you compare quotes from top insurers in just a few clicks so you know you're getting the best deal. Their licensed agents aren't there to upsell you. They walk you through everything, handle the paperwork, and answer your questions with zero pressure. And even if you're relying on the policy through your job, be careful because it might not be enough, and it probably won't follow you if you leave. This is a piece of financial planning that too many people overlook, but it's one of the most important. So if you're a parent, caregiver, or spouse, or someone who just wants to leave behind peace of mind, make this the year you check life insurance off your to-do list. Secure your family's future with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/whiteboardfinance or click the link in the description to compare free life insurance quotes from top companies and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/whiteboardfinance. Okay, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to transfer 1,000 points because I'm not sure if I want to stay at a Hyatt just yet. I'm just using them as an example for this video. So you pick that, you click Next, and then all of a sudden it tells you all of the transfer details. So you're going to see that 1,000 points are going away from my business preferred. It's going to show you the new balance, which is 101,279 minus 1,000. It just gets you this number right here. And then where it's going to go. It's going to go to World of Hyatt, plus 1,000 points amount receiving. So when I hit submit, that's going to happen, and it may take up to 7 business days. Typically, it doesn't take that long, but for the sake of planning travel in advance, you don't want to do this within a week. Try and do it a week or ahead of time, and that way you can get those points in your account. So I hit submit, and now I'm waiting for the screen to load, and now it's going to ask me to confirm my identity because it's the first time I'm doing this, and then it wants me to call this number. Once I do that, they give you a code and then yada, yada, yada. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you actually confirm that it's you. You're all set. Your points transfer is in progress. And then you can basically go back to all the partners here. So you can see my balance actually went down by 1,000. Let me refresh the screen. Again, this may not work right away. I just did this within like 10 minutes. You can see my current points balance right now is 1,000. So it was immediate. So with all this said, you guys, you need to be smart with this. Sometimes, Hyatt, especially, they have categories, and this video is not about Hyatt. It's just to show you how to transfer these points, which we just did. But Hyatt does have categories. So you have to realize that these hotels, they have different categories ranging from 1 to 8. And you can see the points, they can go from 3,500 a night all the way to 45,000. So again, you're at like $35 plus fees and tax, all the way to 450 plus fees and tax in a points equivalent. Okay, so you got to be smart with this stuff. Sometimes you can book hotels during prime hours. So say like the Super Bowl is in a certain city, right? You know that the price per night is going to be jacked all the way up because there's a huge event. But as long as it fits into one of these categories, you can still get it for super cheap, right? So there's different examples of this. I was looking at hotels like in Madrid, for example. My wife and I are planning on going to Madrid. And there's rooms that are equivalent to like $8,000, $9,000 for 7 nights, which I probably would never pay that. But the points equivalent with the Chase points transferred to Hyatt, it was coming out to be like maybe $2,000, $3,000 max. So you're saving like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Okay. So again, be smart with it. Don't rack up credit card points just to get points, or credit card debt just to get points. That'd be stupid. But if you're buying stuff anyway with credit cards and you don't want to just get the cash back on a basically 1 cent per point value and a cashback equivalent, I would definitely check out transferring to a third party. And I'd also look at those aggregator sites that show you how many cents per point you're actually getting. Again, in this example, we're at about 2 cents per point. There's some examples where it's anywhere from like 5, 6, 7 cents per point, which is absolutely a great deal. And also during prime hours or prime events as well. So hopefully, as always, you got value out of this video. As always, smash the like button, or actually just click the like button, share the video with 12,000 friends. And as always, have a prosperous day.